Hello, everybody. Hello. Tech stack. So, I'm just gonna run this, right? We'll start off with that. It's the weekend. Last few weekends we've done playtest. I don't know if anyone's going to be around to do playtest with, but it may not be a bad idea to playtest some of this stuff. We've got pipemen in, we've got walls in, we've got all sorts of fun stuff, right? So it might give us some interesting things. Hey, Tinkerbell. Also, what should we work on if we do code? We're down to 22 issues. I suspect some of these, like this one. Hey, Panda. Hey, Eagle. Yes, you are number 2, Eagle. Some of these are worked on or can't be fixed or things like that. Or might even be corrected by the fact that we've changed some things. Repair button, game mode, and survival wave, maybe. Feature construction time, new wall structures, those are done. It does need a texture though, so I guess I can't close it out. Unless I close this and just open up a bunch of texture issues. That's probably what I should do. Have some actual relevant issues in here. Indicate selected group of target entities. Locations. Targeted locations. Indicate the selected group of entities. Targeted location. Yeah, I know what he's saying. Oh, the targeted entity. Oh, okay. Oh. Research center, X resource storage. Okay, so let me show off what I did earlier. It's not a huge feature, but it's one that I went to. Oh, you were watching last time. Okay. And I completely understand. Sometimes you can't chat. You're on mobile or whatever. Sometimes it's not the best thing to chat. So, please let me play the game. Ready, start. Okay. So I am in spectator mode, and you can see the feature already. Right at the top of the screen, when you're in spectator mode, it shows you the stats or the economy of all of the teams. So if we were to do another test and I go in spectator mode after losing or something, we can very easily keep an eye on the economy. So you can see the top one there, which I am on blue when I'm not in spectator mode, is increasing. So we actually know the stats for all the different teams. Just thought that would be kind of cool to be able to watch while we're in game, right? See who's leading in the various different resources. So that is one thing. Let's get out of that spectator mode. Let's come down here and I'll show off the new model for what I made for the trebuchet. Now, it is not functional yet. That'll be quite a bit of work, I think, to get it fully functional. So there it is. I'm not sold on it all being the same texture. We might move some of these pieces to something else. And yes, it's still a very, very small entity that tries to move around occasionally because I didn't bother with its AI whatsoever. Now, if I were to go and hit the right button, it looks probably properly sized. I don't know that I want to make it any smaller necessarily. It does need to rotate, of course, all over the place. I don't know, what do you guys think? Does it look like a trebuchet? Maybe the weight needs to be bigger than I scaled things up. But this part will go down and that part will go up and away we go. I think from the lore of the game or whatever, we probably need to make like this look metal or this look metal or something so that we have some type of cost to this besides just wood, unless it's ridiculously expensive in wood, because it's beast and it will do amazing things, I have a feeling. You need to go, Red Panda? Okay. Catch you later. I'm probably going to stream for quite a while unless I get called away by somebody. So I'll be around for a while. It doesn't flash when it takes damage. You know, those are the kind of things we need to fix on it still that way. Yeah. I know that's a thing we need to work on, but I'm not sure that's the next thing we need to work on. Hello. How do you say it? Kate? So unit queues, we're as done as we're going to get them. Tribal theming, we've started on already. Tech tree, we haven't officially started. The armory will be part of the tech tree, essentially. Resource storage, I'm not sure we need. Research center, we definitely need. That's part of tech tree. World reset, I've scripted that myself. Minimap, we don't have a solution for. Scouting, we don't have a solution for. Rally point, set a flag at the spawn point. Oh, it's Sammy, okay. You changed your name again. I can't keep track of everybody when they change their names. Repair button. I'm still pretty strongly opposed to repairing the buildings and stuff. I think it's just going to be a way to extend the life of the game. Way to disable damage. I've tried that and it didn't go so well. Add gates walls to cost of the utilities class. What the hell am I trying to say to myself here? To the utilities class. Oh, I know what I'm saying. Okay, we have to do that. That is something before we even playtest. So I'm going to put that on the side so I don't forget what I'm working on. And let's go into the utilities class because there is a part in here where it says what the cost of each individual building is and calls up the right resource file, config, blah, blah, blah. And we need to make sure we're doing that. It's this stuff. Okay, so else if item equals mod items. Eagle says for T1 looks great. Tier 1 of the trebuchet? I don't know if there's going to be another tier of trebuchets. We'll see. Wall steps builder item. And it's going to return config building, come on, building cost wall steps dot get food. Do that. We need the gate. There we go. And so essentially we do that for all of these different resource types. Gold. Just thought of something else we can do too. Okay, I'm not even gonna bother throwing a test up for that because that should be right. So let's just do a commit for this one. Corrected. Now fixes number 146. Number 146. Cost for wall steps and gates. Push all that stuff just so it's up there. Okay, so the next one was, we currently are using a weird model for the pike. Oh, cool. The more the better. Keeps the conversation going. So we've got a pike item, but we need the texture. So right here is what we've currently got, and it's just to, how do I rephrase this? Okay, so this is the actual lance right now. Let's switch this up quite a bit. Okay, so we're gonna have to scroll back and forth, it looks like. Let's get some silvery looking color. Well, first off, let's name this pike. Cancel. Files, save as. Call it pike. You're gonna completely break the pike for a moment. Okay, so now let's get that color I wanted to look for. A nice grayish color that says metallic. Let's also layer. Okay. Also get a big eraser tool and erase everything, which we just did. Okay. So now, can we work out how the pike should be? A smaller eraser. Okay. And back to this. And let's get an example on my other screen. Pike weapon. Lots of them have very sharp points on them. And then they have this tapered pointy thing out the back is what we'll call it. Like that. And then some type of blade coming out this side. Like that kind of shape, right? And let's change this portion of it to be wood color. Like that. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and let's make it a little wider. There we go. Let's fill that in. Let's swap this, get a black outline around the whole thing. So I'm gonna have to take some of the blade head off, looks like, to be able to fit that. It's not horrid. It's not the best, but... Okay, let's grab this color now. Oh. Okay, we do want that. There we go. And let's get a slightly different shade. How way am I doing? Ah! We want to grab this color, pencil, this color. Go, it's very saturated or something. Very unsaturated, whatever. Okay, and let's move towards the lighter side of things, so towards yellow, I guess. Like that. Put that on this side. Let's grab the middle again. Go towards the blue side of things and darker. That'll give us this side. Okay. And I'm gonna grab yet another color. I just don't like that middle color, unfortunately. Let's try that color instead. That's much better. It's a subtle change, but I like it. Okay, so now I'm going to start editing this. I think this needs to come down a bit. So that gives us more room up here so that we can make this shifted down basically on both sides. So how am I going to do that? So if I do this and then grab that so that it's down there instead. Oops. We need something in there, so let's erase that again. Whoops. Let's just focus on the gray first here. We'll get the black added in later. Nope, I want gray, please. There we go. So we're trying to get it away from the edge so that we can get some definition in it, basically. Okay. I mean, it should go there, shouldn't it? Aha. Nope. I want to still pull it down more. Okay, that gives us the centerpiece. Trying to make the pike in a texture form instead of a 3D model, because I think CZ has a valid point that not doing it as a texture like all the other weapons in Minecraft makes it not fit. I need to increase the blade. I think I also need to put some shading in the blade, and that'll help a little bit too. Because it'll help define the different parts of the blade, which are not very obvious right now. This back piece needs down too. So let's move that there. Get rid of that and that. And oh, this here. I guess there. Trident is 3D. That's very true, isn't it? The problem is I don't like the 3D model I did. I can kind of see it there. But if I go bigger, there's not enough room. I agree with you, Eagle. This is too small, and that's why I'm hung up on it. I don't... How can I make it bigger and still put a black outline around it? So if I go out to there with it, it's still... It's against the edge. I can't put the black outline there. Which means I cut the whole thing down, which makes it shorter, blah, blah, blah. Just try it. Oops. That color, please. That's better, isn't it? We need to get rid of that part right there. And that part. Maybe. Nope. One little pixel makes such a difference in this. Okay, so now let's try... This is not... I'm not 100% satisfied, I'm just more satisfied with it. So we're going to try and lighten up the cutting edge to give it some refinement. Okay, and yeah, put some shading on. That's what I'm trying to do. My phone's making noises at me. No, it's nothing. Okay, and then darker to the back side. Trying to make this look like it's rounded-ish, and this is a flat plane with its own shading on it. Guess that could be lit up some because it's sharp. It doesn't look horrid. Now let's grab just a slightly different color, because like if you look at Minecraft stuff, there's not big blocks of the exact same color. And apparently that was too close of a color. Come on. Am I zoomed in too much? I am. Okay. Block. Come on. Give me the color picker. Let's go for like that color. When you get it down to 100%, it's itty bitty. Let's try it. Save it. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Back in Eclipse then. We want to refresh this. We want to go to the Pike item. And we want to go to the Lance item and steal from the Lance item basically. So this is basically what we want for the top part, for the display. Yep, there it all is. Actually, we can just get rid of this elements part. That gets rid of the 3D aspect of it. Try adjusting the handle to a little bit beige. Okay. Let's take a look at what we've got first in the game, and then we'll look at that kind of stuff. What's the groups crap? I don't know. We're getting rid of it. That picture was 16 by 16, my friend. Give it size. Oh no, it's 32. Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! It'll still work. It's just it's gonna be a little bit funnier. It's like an HD texture kind of thing. Okay, so let's first get the pike in our hand so we can see what we're going from. This is the monstrosity. Let's actually duplicate it and throw some on the ground. That's what they looked like before. Let's duplicate just one. And F3T. Cool, they disappeared all together. Awesome. So, yeah, that's probably something in here. Or it couldn't find the pike texture. You know, it's pike down here. So F3 pike. See if it looks for any or found any errors in loading the JSON file, because it very well could have. Doesn't look like it did, which is very interesting. I know what it is. Lance item also has this in it, meaning that it's a generated 3D model based on the texture, basically. It uses the normal Minecraft item stuff. Ta-da! No? Still no work? Okay. Layer 0. F3T. Oh, that bad boy's big. Oh, chop's cool. Just because it's like rotated wrong on my face. Hey, Zach. Yeah, we gotta fix the rotation and all that. That's probably just the easiest to do this for the time being. And get rid of all of that and save. And do F3T. There we go. So let's go ahead and build a troop production building for a barracks. Lop one of them down. Use our handy dandy unit recruitment for pikemen and see what they look like. Yeah, it's 32 by 32. So is our lance right now. So the lance is also 32 by 32. It just doesn't have that black outline around it, like the diamond sword actually has. So there's a black outline, or a dark outline, around that thing. Okay, did we not recruit a pikeman? There we go. His pike is so little. We need to translate that thing forward when it's in his hand. Make it feel a little longer. So let's put all this back in. We are going to say third person right hand is probably what we want to mess with. Like that. And we want to translate it up in his hand. Let's not mess with rotation for the moment. Let's set this one to 0. Let's set this to, say, 1.5 and F3T and see if that does anything. I did save, right? Yeah, I did. So if I've understand that right, it should shove it up in his hand some. And it kind of did. What? Are you going to fix the text going off the buttons? Yes, by not having the text on the buttons. That will be my ultimate fix for that. It's really weird that it's like that. Let's make it 1.5 still. Leave this at 0. Leave that 90 rotation in there, which I don't think is going to be right, but I'm not sure what the default rotation is to start from. Okay, that puts it sideways in his hand. So what does the lance do? Because the lance kind of is right. Let's do that for this. It is 1.5. It's 6 though, so Let's leave that at 0 for the moment. It's 270 on the rotation and 38. Let's set that to, say, 45. And just check out what that does. Did not like that at all. Okay, so that sets it up to be like the pikeman, doesn't it? So that's going down his arm because of the 270. So if we take 180 off of that, it should be negative 90. To be in the right orientation, I think. Fine. Put it out your hand, dude. Okay. Add 90 to it. Negative 180. We'll get there eventually. So it went from being up to there. So that's the rotation along the axis that goes like this. So we want it at 90. But then we want to rotate it along this one, maybe? Kind of confused right now. Let's see what that does. Should rotate it back up, and then I'm hoping it'll rotate it away from its body. I'm not sure if it's that one or the other axis that needs that. Okay, there we kind of go. That looks more painful to me. It's kind of going through his hand. So if we did positive 90, okay, so that's coming out his hand. Now if we go back for, so let's say 45 down. There we go. Okay, now we need to translate it forward. Let's go by 2 this time. Just do it by like 7. See where it puts it. So I don't think that moved much. I just want him to barely grab the tip of it, right? There we go. And then I think, let's do 35 on that. Working on a need type of, oh, so this is a new, you mean new type of unit? Yeah. This is going to be the pikeman, so he will counter the horse unit. Okay, so now we need to pull it up, it looks like, because it's not in his hand anymore. Yeah, he's like past the tip of his hand. Ever so slightly. Let's first try the... that, maybe? I don't know if it's that axis or the other one. I didn't even move. Okay, so that's probably left and right. So let's make that back to 0. Okay, Spiderman. So this pikeman's been in the game for a while now. Come on. There we go. But I just haven't had him in a way that you could spawn him in. The heck? It's off the end of my hand too. Let's do like 4. Let's get this thing moving by big increments so we can see if it's going in the right direction or not. Okay, that is definitely the wrong direction. So if we did positive 4. Okay, Tinkerbell. See you later. And you too, Eagle. Okay, so that was the right direction. So let's try 2. Kind of want it towards the tip of his hand, but not past the end of his hand. Oh, just a little less. Just a little tiny bit less. Yeah, okay. So we'll say 1.8 maybe, and let's bump this up to 8 itself. Yeah, let's see what that does. I want it to be out of his hand as far as we can. .5, let's try. Mm-mm. 2.1 then. Went the wrong direction with it. Ah, just a hair off the bottom of his hand, really? 2.5 then, jeez. There we go. And then let's say 8 point. Let's do 9. See what it does. Again, I want it to be a long thing that's coming out of his hand, without disconnecting from his hand altogether. And it did not. Let's look at ourselves in third person. Yeah, I think that's going to have to do. So let's spawn in a Lancer. Summon, RTS, mounted entity. There's our Lancer. Oh, did they just one-shot the... No, he's not one-shot. That's 2 hits. It's just super quick hits. Oh man, is this guy gonna be good. Let's summon a minion. TSRTS minion. Oh, they're wrecking face. They're gonna like dominate. Okay, good. They can be killed. Yeah. They may be kind of OP. I think it's probably because the stats on the pike. So if I go if I go into the screen here, it has an attack damage of 9. The lance has an attack damage of 9, so that'll help the mounted units counter a little bit. But even a diamond sword's only 7, right? So that attack speed on this thing is super fast. I think higher numbers mean faster attack speed. Yeah. So it can attack super fast. You can almost spam click it, right? So this is going to be a high DPS unit. No joke, that kills a pig at 1 hit. Not even a crit hit. We're going to have to dial that back a bit. Oh, right, those aren't set health, I forgot. Chicken should be one hit too, because chicken's one hit with a sword. What about these guys? That's 2. 1, 2. Where's an archer? Can it hit 2 hit everything? It can. These guys have the most health, I think, too. Crazy. Well, lances shall be worth it. How much expensive are they? Okay, they're pretty high in gold. Only second to lance. Wait, to the lancers, which are the mounted units. So the pikemen are second to that. Then they have a high iron need. No cobble, which makes sense. I don't know why we have cobble on anything that's a unit. And then a little bit of wood, because their weapon has wood in it, so they're equal in wood. And less food. So it might actually be overall cheaper to make pikemen than lancers. But the lancers have a speed advantage too, though, right? They are significantly fast. Let's actually go back to wherever I made that barracks if I can find it real quick. So we can get some guys spawning in. You know what? I don't know where I put it. We'll just plop one down right here. And we're going to request a bunch of pikemen. And their unit's icons show up down there. Let's take a screenshot of this. Plop. Pike? Question mark. Okay, guys, you are under my control, remember? So don't attack me with your uber weapon. Your uber weapon of destiny. Can you go over there, please? Their stats are pretty high. They're pretty speedy. Let's see what the defaults are for them, because that might be extreme. They probably should run as fast as, say, a minion, maybe? So config, where are you, config? And we need to go to unit attributes. The pikemen are last. And it's in first one, second one, third one is their speed. So they are 0.35, which is as fast as a minion. The archers will be slowest still. I think if the minion should be able to outclass them, it needs to be faster. Maybe we even bump up the minion's attack damage a bit. I don't know. Why does he have armor? He shouldn't have armor. Nobody should have armor. That's going to change the dynamics of the game quite a bit if we change that, though. His knockback resistance is pretty high. So he will stand his ground. And then it's 0.35 speed. Let's make it 0.33 speed. So somewhere between a archer and a minion. So I don't necessarily want them overpowering archers either. And the other aspect of this too is right now the weapon attributes are taken into effect as well. So the pike itself has a 8 modifier. Right this second, no, but we will add in minions with armor on effectively, or with diamond weapons, and that'll make them upgraded. That's through the tech tree branch that we'll do. So let's not set this to be a murder death weapon. Attack damage modifier. Let's slow down this speed. This is a slower one, so let's leave it at 0. And let's set the damage to, say, a 7, I guess? And let's delete my local configs and restart the game. And see what that does to these guys. Cloudy Kitten, that's exactly what we're building, is a RTS, a real-time strategy in Minecraft. It's basically a functioning thing at this point. We just have grand visions for it, and we'll be adding stuff to it for quite a while. Yeah. So let's delete that config, and then we'll run it again. I can show you if you're interested in it, what it's about. Configs. Delete all the local configs, and let's run it again. It's intended to be multiplayer, so I don't see this as a long-term survival gameplay, right? I have a test server set up where we've done PvP events with this, basically. So because of the nature of most RTSs, you have to see. I'm taking more of a traditional RTS approach with this, right? Now, I'm testing it in single player, yes. You can do this in single player, but there's nobody to fight, right? That's the problem. So when you start up, you'll see here in a second, you get a lobby screen, just like an RTS would, right? Most RTSs, when you play multiplayer, it'll list everybody out that's connected, what team they're on. We can change teams, ready up, and then once everyone that's connected is ready, you hit start, and it throws you in the game. Immediately, I get my starting resources. You can see my resources at the top of my screen here. In fact, let's go ahead and create a brand new world to show this off better. Recreate. Create world. I'm super flat, please. Now you see I've had warfare like with clay soldiers, so I'm imagining that vamped up to 5,000. Think Age of Empires in Minecraft. That's what we're going for. Not exactly, but close to it, right? So there's my starting resources. I got 100 food, wood, 75 cobble, 50 iron, 25 gold, etc. So you start with a town hall. The town hall is the thing that your opponents are trying to kill from you, right? They're trying to destroy your town hall. I right click in the world. If I wasn't in creative, that'd go out of my inventory because I only get 1. And because I'm on blue, my targets on this building are blue. It's themed in the blue team's banners and flags and such. And there's this block here. This block here is your world to everything else, right? It unlocks your ability to build economy buildings, troop production buildings, defensive buildings, and recruit units through your troop production units buildings. You can, because in our playtesting, we've realized that it kind of turns into a running simulator between going here and going to where you're gathering resources from. I've made it so that you don't have to go to that block. You hit the Y key and it opens up the same screen. Go to economy buildings and I want to buy a farm. It lists how much of each resource that you need to buy that farm. Now, the wording on this and the wording on the last screen are just temporary. We'll eventually make these icons that you can visually hover over and see word farm. It is similar to you're describing, yes. I can't remember exactly Rise of Nations, that game, but you protect your town hall. And there is a slime on my town hall. So I'm going to place down farms, and you'll see that as I do this, my food production is going up by more than just the initial 5 that the town hall gives. So every, what I'm calling an RTS tick, which is 10 seconds, we get more resources from all of our resource gathering things, right? If I were to go in here and buy some other resource gathering things, like a lumberyard, I'm going to toss these out. I'm also going to get a log in my inventory because the map does need to be built for this so that you can place your resources, right? So we've come up with the concept of resource nodes. See how this is a yellow outline? This means I can't place this building here because it's not the correct thing to place it on. Hey, Leonardo. Also, you see how it's red here. If you scream into the void, I will sub and like, ah. There's my scream. So when it's red, that means you're encroaching some other building, so you can't place buildings on top of buildings. And it's white then when it's over this. So if I click here, it won't place. I click there out there where it's yellow, it won't place. Click there, it will. Now I'm going to get more wood every RTS tick, so every 10 seconds. Okay, and I can buy... Oh, so you need to be at the proper resources to put them down. You can't just be anywhere. Correct. So the farms can be placed on grass blocks, the lumber yards on oak logs, stone mines on stone, smooth stone, iron mines on iron ore, gold mines on gold ore, and diamond on diamond ore. And the reason being is it lets us create a custom map that you don't, like, you just can't crowd everything in one spot. It makes you spread out, and it is strictly grass for right now. Yes. Thank you, Moonstar. Okay, so now on to troop production then. Now that we've got a little bit of resources coming in, and I've waited long enough. I've stalled, basically, right? I'm going to buy a barracks. Now, it's gone into my regular inventory up here because these haven't been disappearing, so let's close these out of here. Okay. Barracks you can place anywhere. I don't know, because it's right now we're basically making lots of grass on the custom maps we're building for it, and somebody would need to do the same. So here's my barracks. This is where I'm going to get, for now, 2 different types of units. Okay, Spiderman, catch you later. The minion and the pikeman. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and buy the other buildings as well. So I want an archery range. I can't buy stables yet. I'll plop that down. And let's also recruit some units. So we've got a queue system set up where you can tell it I want to buy 5 minions, and you see the sticks are representing the minions for right now. And I want to buy 1 pikeman, so that's what the pike's about. So it will go through and spit out those units after the production time for those units. I was asking for if people, for example, were to host their own group of friends on their own server. Yeah, I get what you're going for. You could have it a completely Podzol map and then place down grass blocks. Maybe I'll add it to a config down the road. I've got a very extensive config that lets you change how much things cost, how much the units, like that unit's attributes, how much he attacks, how fast he is. All of that is done in a config. Yeah, I like the minions too. Like, I purposely was going to start them out as being the skin of the person that's buying them, but that was a little bit much for a multiplayer world where the other players may not have seen each other, blah, blah, blah. So this was the easy way. And remember, I'm on Team Blue, so look at their shirts. They're blue, right? There's some other things that I need to show you as well if you're really interested in this stuff. So, RTS, right? Normal RTSs. Then we kind of got our pikemen out. And let's buy some archers too, just so you can see the different skins and stuff. I've got an archer going. He will come out of that building. Mini clones, yeah. I called them mini-me's. So there's our archer for the blue team. Now, in an RTS, selecting your units and controlling your units are a very important part of it, right? So normally you're in a top-down environment, you can control or click and drag around a bunch of units. Well, in Minecraft, you can't really do that super easy, right? So I've added hotkeys. If I hit the H key, it selects everybody in my area within like a 32 block radius of me. So think of it as H as in calling for help. If I hit G, think of it as saying goodbye to them. You no longer have them selected, okay? Now, I can command them around with my command wand, or command scepter here, and I've got multiple different flavors of this thing, right? So the default command scepter will be an attack move style, right? So they will go to their destination, and if there's any enemies along the way, they will attack them along the way. Then you've got the retreat scepter, where if I were to click over there and there was an enemy along the way, or an enemy was currently attacking them, they will ignore the enemy and try to get to where I told them to go before they engage any other enemies. Right? So that's a critical part. It seems silly, but it's a critical part. In our playtesting, when we first had the command scepter, it just wasn't going to work out. Like, you couldn't stop your troops from attacking. Even if there was one guy on the enemy left, like, they just wanted to attack, and you couldn't get them to go deeper and ignore things. Okay, and you're probably noticing these guys are lining up and not all crowding one spot. Now, when I initially set this up, there was no concepts of formations. These guys are actually in a line, and if I get enough things recruited here, let's get some more pikemen, minions, archers. And let's see, can I buy a stable while I'm at it so we can show the mounted units? Not quite. I need more wood. Okay, we'll let the wood catch up. So as I get more things selected here, they will start to form a second line. So once I have more than 9. And also, over there on the left side of the screen, there's all these numbers, right? So most RTSs, when you have a group of units already selected, you can hit Control 1 and it will put them into a what's called a control group. And that control group will let you recall those selections later. So I built the same thing. I can't use 1 through 9 because that changes what you're using in your hand. So instead I use the bottom row of my keyboard. So Control Z is number 1. And you can see it changed over here in my left hand corner to say that there's 14 selected now, right? So now that I've got 14 selected, if I were to give them a command like this, they will line up in 2 rows. And they're not the tidiest of rows, but they're not all gathered in one spot, bumping into each other, causing lag. That's the main thing. And if you were to have, I've had 250 units in a well, I've had way more than that. I've had 250 in a group and commanded them. Works just fine. And they will create this great big column of troops. It looks pretty cool when they're marching at you. Okay, let's see if we can buy a stable. I'll show you the other troops we've got so far. Still not enough gold. Okay, let's put down some gold farms. Gold. And mine site. Gold, stone mine. Let's see. There it is. Okay, I still haven't showed you killing the buildings, right? Time set day. So these guys can attack each other, obviously, if there was an opposing team here. They can attack buildings, too. They won't attack their own. It's a safety feature that's annoying when it wasn't in there. But let's say destroy... I guess we're going to have to destroy the town hall to show it off properly. So I'm going to get some damage potions. And you can command these if there was an opposing team. But I'm not on... it's all my team, right? So if I start killing this... We've built in a way for the buildings to show that they're partially damaged or fully damaged. They are monitoring their own health and updating accordingly. So once we get enough of these killed, I think it's about half of these. So the town hall's got a lot of health because it's the thing you're trying to protect. You don't want it to die. There. So you can see it's finally done enough damage to it that it's no longer the same condition, right? So it's looking pretty beaten up. Keep killing it until it's all the way dead. by killing these target blocks. It's pretty heavily inspired by Age of Empires, let's put it that way. There are other RTSs as well, but Age of Empires has a lot of this. So you can see we've got an alert that the town hall has been destroyed. If any of my other buildings were destroyed, it would have said it as well, but when a town hall goes, everybody in the game knows that that team's town hall died. But if it's your own mine site, for example, then it won't happen. So then you get this rubble, right, from the building, and then 30 seconds later the rubble disappears, right? And that building is no longer functional for you. It will not do anything. Let's show these guys attacking. If I can get a target here, they will target any mob I click on that's on another team other than their own. If they can hit the horse, that's way too fast for them. And let's see if we can get that last building type. There we go. Finally got the stables. So stables. I'm probably going to need to spawn another town hall so we keep getting resources here, so I keep showing stuff off. Okay, and let's recruit some Lancers, which are our mounted unit currently. So there's our Lancer. He has a lance in his hand, is why we call him Lancer. And he can become part of our selected troops and move around the world. G, and then select just him. Oops, if I can get just him. And tell him to go after that cow, for example. You can see he's much faster than other things, being on a horse. He also packs a pretty good punch, too. See, he pretty much one-hit that thing. Okay, so far I've been showing you everything as the blue team. Let's join a different team. Team join yellow. Automatically, all of these guys are on the team of the person that owns them, right? So if I change teams, they change teams. Not something that's really meant to be in the game. Maybe eventually I'll let people have alliances and change teams and stuff. I don't know. But you see, we've got different textures for each team. It's no longer a gray horse, it's a white horse. So let's join blue. Oh, well, we are on blue. Red. Again, different textures. So you can tell when your enemy is in near you, right? And that he looks different. And green is like an Asian team or ninja team, right? So you can see the archers back there look like little ninjas. That's all 4 colors. Now, the other thing we do, you can see the targets changed as well. When I'm on this team and I spawn, say, the stables, it looks different than our other stables did. In fact, that was the blue team stables. That's the green team stables. So we can theme the teams based on the civilization that they are, right? I never went into defensive buildings at all. We've got walls, steps, gates, watchtowers. I don't think I was able to buy all of that stuff there, but we don't have textures for them yet. They're pretty new. We'll get there. So you can place down defensive walls. And this is a step building that's meant to get up on that. So we can place it there. And now you can get up on your wall. Look over it, right? Let's get a gate. It's intended to be the way to go through the wall. Oh, that's not the right gate. We want this one. I don't think that took again. So gate. There we go. We want the builder gate. There we go. I right click on the gate block. And down comes the gate. Nobody can go through it. Click it again, and things can go through. The main purpose of the gate is really just for you to take your troops out, right? So if someone else were to come up to this block and click on it, if they're not on your team, they can't open the gate. It checks for teams. And again, if I were to join a different team, so team join red this time. Oh, red this time. And place down these same buildings. So the wall, it's got a different theme. The gate, the stair piece, and then the gate itself. And the walls are designed in such a way where if it's rough terrain, they will contour to the terrain and go up the terrain. Makes it, and the way that they're set up with this structure of the four corners being higher, they visually look nice if it is flat land. But also, if this terrain were to continue to be, you know, staircasing up, it lets you climb the thing, right? So let's see, that's probably too much. And we need a block here to place off of. Boop, boop, wall. And a block to place off of. So you can see I can get up this still. Because of the staggered nature of the blocks, it lets me climb even the weirdest terrain. That takes you to everything that's pretty much functional. Yeah, there's some missing textures and stuff, but that's just because my texture guy hasn't had an opportunity to do it yet. And then here's something that I started working on the other day. Because we've got walls now, I've added a trebuchet. I want to start getting siege weapons added to the game, right? Right now it's just a visual thing. It doesn't actually work, but we'll get there. The other pieces of this is I want to get a tech tree added, so you can do research at a research center. It'll spend some resources to do that, but you can unlock things like, say, iron armor, then the maybe diamond armor, and what it will do is it'll unlock other units that you could recruit in here. So let's say the minion becomes a knight when he has iron armor on, or a paladin in diamond armor, or whatever it might be. And those armors and weapons that they would have using those resources would be more powerful, right? So you can advance through the tech tree and dominate your enemies that way. So yeah, guys, any questions? If there were some other people on, we could give it a play, but right now there's not. You know, why am I doing this? Let's have these guys attack them. There we go. Always do. Now, on this mode like this, I am telling them to attack each one of these, but if I were to summon in, say, a RTS minion, they will automatically attack because he's the opposing team. So they look for enemy units, minions, pikemen, whatever they are, enemy units in general. Why do I stream it this time? It's just convenient for me, right? So I'm in the United States, and this is my evening to stream at. So most nights, I try and stream between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern time zone. But often I will stream a little bit before that, like say 7:30, until 9, sometimes a little later. And then on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I will stream even later. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm going until like 2, 3 in the morning or something. And then based on how late I streamed the night before, on Saturday and Sunday I'll stream during the day too sometimes. Just depends what's going on with the family and everything. I like to stream on the weekends because I'm weird and I like working on this mod and the other one I've got. So. Come on, attack him. There you go. I think I'm hitting the bounding box of the other guys around them. They won't attack themselves. Okay, so I guess we can start working a little bit more on the trebuchet. I don't know that we're going to finish it tonight. It needs some pretty complex animations to make it look good, right? When we're all said and done. And its AI is not even there yet. It's basically a minion right now, so if I were to spawn a minion up here, it would fight it. It'd move around. It would try and fight the minion. Because it thinks it's a minion, even though it looks like a trebuchet. So what do you guys think? Is this a huge waste of my time? Let's see, summon. RTS. Trebuchet. Let's go back in the code here and let's look at its render code. In here. We're just saying render the parent, which is going to be a problem. Takes the model itself. Oh yeah, so this was supposed to be an example mod so that I could figure out how to go for 114 from my other mod. And it's getting close to as much code as my other mod. It might have passed it, I don't know. I'm gonna have to break this into multiple different things and not just render the parent, I think, in order for this to work right. Because I need to render each one with a different rotation. Yeah, because we need to set the rotation angles of each individual component. Although they are all set here, so I guess I could do it down here as well. That's interesting. We could calculate what it should be. Ones that are active too. I've made lots of mods though that were private basically before. This is fully intended to be a public mod, and my other one is TechStack's Heavy Machinery mod, where I added heavy machinery to Minecraft. That one is a regular survival type mod though. So think front-end loaders, dump trucks, etc. in Minecraft that actually interact with the blocks in the world. By you getting in them and driving them. That's the main difference. I've made bucket plugins too that are PvP games for me and my friends. Trying to think what I should work on next. So I know that Trebuchet is going to be a lot of fiddly stuff. Town Hall Cavil. No, not that one. Let's work on the lobby screen for a second. Yes, I guess it is my hobby. Especially this time of year. So in the lobby screen here, let's close out of this. I want to get a visual of it again and fresh in my head. I want to add another button to the lobby screen that basically lets you say, I want to be on spectator mode. So spectate kind of thing down here. So here's my buttons now. So let's add another GUI button. Chubby ID 10. Spectate. Welcome to the Discord, Leonardo. btn start equals add button. What am I doing? This will be called button spectate. And it should be active from the start. And I don't know if we're ever going to change that, but we're going to set it up like the other one so we can if we want to. Spectate. There we go. We'll say spectate in here. Now its position needs to be down by the Y button, but to the left over by where, say, red is. So at X. So that should be good there. And where are we setting these variables up? So yeah, terminate the game. We're gonna have to do that. So button. That. Where is this? This is in the initialization. We're adding the button ready. So button spectate activate equals false if the player is ready or is not ready. Sounds backwards to me, but it's not. And we'll set the active state to true if they are ready. I don't know why that sounds backwards. Okay, and then this generic button, GUI button, blah blah blah. Here's its handler. So this is the start button. This kind of forces it to be in spectator, not no way back, which I guess will have to be the first version of this. Spectate. And we say player dot what? Is spectator, is spectating, is spectator. I guess that's not an option. So game mode. Set game. Spectator, there we go. Why is that in red? Duplicate case. How is that possible? I don't think you know what you're talking about, Eclipse. Because I just made this just now. How could I have already typed it in there? Duplicate case. I'm reading the Discord server rules. That's why you're not talking. Oh, you're fine, man. And those rules were made long ago, so I probably need to read them again. If there's something stupid in there, let me know. Oh, okay, so this is the same value. Okay, so this needs to be a much higher number, that's all. So we need to make this 14 now. So I'm reusing that code in there. Okay, that's better. Cool, so let's try it. I guess we could test if they're in spectator and then take them out of spectator if you click it again. That would probably be best, huh? Let's try that next. Just let it toggle back and forth. So is it late for you, Leonardo? Well, that's a typo already. I need to make it in the right case at least so it looks nicer. Okay. Do that because we can get the menu up real quick. I know I am not in spectator mode because I've got only one bar at the top. As soon as I click it, I go into spectator mode. Yeah, let's just toggle that, right? Make it a toggle button that's always active, whether you're spectating or not. And I can put, maybe put some words up here that says if they're spectating or something. So let's not do that. Let's not do that or that, like that. And in this, the start button's only get the one that's changing there, okay? So I can make a check down here basically. It says, where's the player at though? We're going by player name, which is an entity passed in there though, so player entity. Okay, there's our player. So if player entity dot is spectating, really, there's nothing we need to do. We're going to keep that button on no matter what. So if you click it again, it just lets you disable it. I just need to override the ready text, basically. With another if statement. You do everything based on conditions, if else? Yeah, that's programming. So we get the player's name, which is a string. And we find that player in the list to get if they're ready state. So it's not actually looking at the individual player class. Can I tell what if they're spectating or not from this dot? Doesn't look like it. Okay, we'll deal with the update of the screen later, I guess. Yay. So in here, we just need to toggle it. So if player dot is spectating, so if you're already spectating, we don't want to keep spectating. We want to instead say what? Survival? Okay, so now if I click the button, I fall out of spectator. Go back into spectator, out of spectator. I can't ready though. I might need to set them to be ready if they're in spectator mode. By doing this. So this is going to set them to being ready or not. So we'll say true if you're in spectator. And we'll take them out of being ready if they go back. So I'm ready. Yeah. Ready in spectator mode. Not ready in that. That's cool. Also, I start falling through the world. Okay, the fact I'm ready is just messed up. Okay. I'm in spectator. I'm in regular. I'm ready. Yeah. But you can fall through the world toggling that button, so don't fall through the world. That's amazing. I don't know if there's anything I can do about that one. Other than say don't click it fast. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Okay, so let's first off only you commit this and this and this. Spectator button option in lobby screen. Okay, and then let's choose the stoof. Change the pike texture and JSON file and its config for attack damage because it was really overpowered. Push all that up to the GitHub. Yeah, I do. I know several. I work in IT. I'm not hands-on keyboard programming every single day like I used to be, but I've learned many programming languages over the years. So we need to get that cleared locally if you're ready or not. Because it thinks I'm ready because I readied up before. And it didn't clear that cache, so let's clear that cache if we can. It's going to be an on join server event or something like that that we're looking for. Event handler, on join world. There we go. And player selections. There's gonna be another one for ready. It's player ready array. There we go. Where'd it go? I lost my code. Hello, come back. There we are. A player and we're on the server side. We're getting the selections, creating a new selection, okay, then sending the teams to the client so the team is aware of what teams there are. And then on the client side, we're sending to the server requesting owner info to server. Okay. Oh, if it's a unit. Okay. Yeah, so the unit types go through. Okay. So that's something completely unrelated to what we need to do now. This is more closely related to what we need to do now, so it's in this section. TSRTS dot is player ready array. The thing is, that's probably updated on the client as well with a packet, so we probably just need to send the packet to the client. That's probably the right answer to do. So where's the call hierarchy for this? Set player ready. All this will go with a map made for the mod. I will upload the mod, and we will probably also upload a series of maps that one of my server members have been working on. I'll load it up in the background so you can see it while this is going. He probably was playtesting on it last night, so I might have some stuff in the world, but I'll show you what the map, well, the world we've been playtesting the most with looks like. This just automatically sends it to all the players what the player up state, ready up state is, so we can just set them to not ready when they join the world. So player entity goes there, and the word false goes here. And we say utilities. Oops, if I don't type it wrong. Okay, now it's ready to run. Oh, it's 12:01. Ugh. AM. So you're 2 hours ahead of me? That puts you like in the ocean, dude. Are you in Iceland? So here is our test server map that we've got. Now, like I said, there's many maps. If I go into spectator mode, it's basically a mirrored map with a big X. Right? So each player chooses a direction and goes. We set it up for four players. It could be 8 players as well, right? Or 2v2 or 1v1. And it's got the resource nodes already in here that we're talking about. So there's the iron one, the woods all surrounding the trees. There's different wood spots that you have to try and find. More iron, stone patch, more iron, again iron, the gold, the most important thing on this map, and diamonds, which right now in the game have no use, so this is the least important one, but eventually diamonds will have use for higher tier units and stuff. So this is what the map's about. It's mirrored across 4 quadrants. There are other maps that he's built. All of the maps he's built are based off of other RTS games because he's a big RTS fan. And they play pretty well. So there's, you know, some of these are mirrored weird. Like this one's the gold's here instead of in that corner. And it drives me nuts because I always run to this corner thinking the gold's over here and it's not. Yeah, that's what the map looks like. So let's close this and go back into the level one more time. And I should not be ready if I did this right. Not ready. So if I go blue, ready, start, I am technically ready to the game. What I just changed should unready me. Cool. Fixes ready state being incorrect if you leave and come back to the server after being ready. It will make you unready by default. That was just an annoying bug, so you had to click the buttons back and forth to pick your team if you hadn't picked a team yet. And yeah. Little bugs. Spectator, no spectator. Should we change that wording? I think we should. No, so you said it's 12:01 in the morning, right? It's 10 at night for me. So we're 2 hours apart. There's Fire. Hey, Fire.
Hello.
So this spectate button's label needs to change based on whether or not we are in spectator mode. Where else do we set that though? So this set message. I'm confused because it should be somewhere else. We set that. Dark Souls, huh?
Well, you know me. I like the pain.
Guess so. Let's do a call hierarchy on that because this is confusing me. No, let's do call hierarchy on the button ready. That'll be easier. Oh. No, let's just set whether or not the ready button's there. Huh. Oh, okay. I didn't think about going south and east. I was just thinking going straight east from where I am at. So what, that's like Brazil or something? Or Aruba? I know in here somewhere I'm setting this to say ready or unready. I have to, but I just don't see it. Unless I'm forcing that button. Whatever. And we're going to set our spectator mode button the way we want. Here. Because we can. So if player entity dot is spectating, or spectator, then excuse me.
Bless you.
There was no stopping that one. No time for mute. Sorry. Set message. So if they're spectating, we'll say survival. Else, we set it to say spectate. So now if we go out, go back into the lobby, I am in spectator mode, and it says survival. I am in survival mode, and it says spectate, and lets me go back and forth. Cool. So you can pick which game mode you're playing in now, Fire. You can, as a player, oh, sorry, man. As a player now, you can choose if you want to be in spectator mode in the lobby by just clicking a button. Update text on spectate button if the player is or is not currently spectating. Problem is, there's a good chance it will let you fall into the ground. So let's put myself into survival. Oh, it didn't die. As I say it, I die. Let's get into the house where I'll be safe. What is still to be done for the mod? Tons of stuff. We need to build all the different variations of the town halls and all the different buildings for each of the different tribe themes. Stuff like that. Plus add the tech tree, add the buildings that lets you use the tech tree. Yeah, it lets you clip through the freaking floor. Okay, let me try one little dirty hack fix that might or might not work. In utilities. Let's see. So if I'll go about this way. So we spectate this handler. Spectate. So if you go into spectate, then player dot set position. Right, spectator lets you know clip. That's the problem. Dot position y. There we go. Equals plus 0.5. That way it bumps them up just a little bit so that when they go back into spectator, they won't clip through the ground, hopefully. And of course I did that when I was flying, so this is a totally invalid test. Okay, so, on the ground. Yeah, on the ground. Let's try it again. So it lets me spectate. Survival. Dang. Let's also do the same here. In hopes that it puts us up in the air. Enough. Bumping them up a half a block. That should be more than enough. Oh, if I do it a lot, I can clip through, but that was a lot. I got another idea too. First off, let's gonna bump them up a little bit more. We're gonna set player dot what's the motion? Motion. At least it used to be called motion. It's pretty close to perfect. I want to just adjust the player's velocity, maybe? Nope. Y position, chasing position, previous Y position. Okay, fall. Fall distance. Yeah, I guess I'll leave it at 0.75. Let's try that. It means if this... Oh, I don't want to start the game again. I already got started. It means that if it's a really small area, you might bump your head. Wherever your spawn is, but I think we're getting into a corner case then. I don't have to worry about that one. I do need to kill the second Minecraft that I accidentally started here, so that's what I'm waiting for. There we go. Kill that. Go away. You are not wanted. Okay. So now that we're going up a bit higher, you can still glitch through if you really are trying to kill yourself, I guess, because that's basically what's going to happen. Yeah. I've done all I can. A troll gonna be a troll.
I'll be back.
Okay. It's partially because when you're in spectator mode, you go down quite a bit. Or something. Here, let's do F... I can't do F3. Really? I don't know if I quit and then go back in while I'm in F3, will it stay? Nope. Can't go into F3 mode in this GUI. I just wanted to know my coordinates, so I was trying. You really have to try for it. Yeah, I'm happy enough with that. Update. Oh wait, no, it's update. Try to stop the player from falling through the floor from clicking spectate survival.
I'm here.
Repeatedly. I hear.
Well, I didn't want to say I'm back.
I know you haven't said I'm here in a long time. Just let this kill me. It's easier than trying to get out of it. I'm actually kind of getting tired already tonight. I'm tempted to not stay up till 2 so that I can do stuff tomorrow instead. Like, actually get up at a more reasonable time. Well, it's not just no clip though, because of the spectator mode automatically implies no clip. I don't think the no clip is separate in Minecraft. Let me see. Player dot no clip. It's an option. What's it do though? It is uses the movement, it looks like. Then when the games start, we'd want to apply it again so they can go through stuff. Because I don't... I'm fine with people no-clipping through walls and stuff to see what's going on as a spectator. Let's leave it out for the moment. Let's take a look at the game start method, if there's one in here. I think it's in here. Get starting resource amounts, and that's where it's going to be called from, so we'll use that. Call hierarchy. Start game, cool. So it does loop through the teams. It was nice talking to you too, man. Thanks for hanging out with me, Leonardo. And I just got the message of, do you want to let the dog out? So perfect time for me to stop, because I think Leonardo was probably the main person watching. Night, Leonardo. And he let the dog out anyway. So I'm gonna stop the stream here and decide if I'm gonna go to bed or not. I don't know. But good night, everyone. In case I don't come back, I'll stream early tomorrow if I don't. My wife's going shopping, so.